Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, what's up? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos every week. So today, as you can tell, I'm home. I wanted a different vibe for this video. So as you know, I've been doing nails for more than 20 years, and there's just some things that, it's always been a good run, but it's just some things that if I could go back, I would change before becoming a nail tech. So I know you've probably watched these videos all over YouTube, what I wish I knew before I do nails, so on and so forth. And in doing some research, I found that a lot of people were giving more tips for beginners. And while that's a future video that I do plan on doing, here's what I wish I knew before I started doing nails right now. Video a while ago, I'll leave a link above, about my career and my journey as a nail tech, 15 plus years. So I'll leave a link to that video if you're a little unfamiliar about my history and how I became a nail tech, how I got into nails, how I went from place to place, so on and so forth. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. But if I could go back and do things differently, I won't want to say over, because I'm someone that just believes that all mistakes happen for a reason. We have to fall so we know how to pick ourselves up. So I wouldn't do anything over, but what I would choose to do differently is, the first thing is just be more patient. Doing nails takes a long time to learn. We are all still learning. We're also educating ourselves. I'm still learning different techniques and tactics and how to do this and do this type of nail art and enhancements. And it takes a long time. So I would just say, I would tell my younger self to just be patient. And while I didn't give up on it, I didn't give up on it. It was something that it took a long time for me to just kind of get into it. So just being patient with myself and realizing that if this is something that I truly love to do, I will eventually get the process and I will learn it and it will happen. When I had first started doing nails, I was like 12 years old. Yes, I was that young. I was 12 years old. And I used to have, back in the day, we didn't have a practice hand. We just had the finger. So I know you've seen just the little crooked finger. And so I had a couple fingers, and I would beg my friends and family to do their nails. And I would just try to like rush the process. And I wanted to learn. And while that's good and all, it's just like being patient. So again, just being patient with myself and realizing like, again, I'm young. I'm 12, 13 years old. I will get it. Just that's what I would tell my younger self. The second thing that I wish that I could have done differently was I would choose to start working with a company rather than going into a nail shop in the beginning. So some of you out there are new nail techs, and I find that a lot of new nail techs choose to want to work independently from jump. They want to work from home, they want to work for themselves, or they work in a shop, and that's great and all. But as a new nail technician, it can be extremely overwhelming to walk into mom and pop shop that has in a high traffic area where people are coming in. They have these expectations of nails should be done in 45 minutes. And as a new nail tech, timing, your skill level, your knowledge, you're just not 100% there yet. While I don't say don't do it, because it is a way to do it, to push yourself, so that I got that from it, but it can be a little overwhelming. Also, if you were to be with the company, they would give you that proper training. That's something that I ended up getting when I went with Elizabeth Arden, and I got that years later. So had I did that backwards, I would have got proper training at a slower speed, because most spas and stuff do just manicure, pedicure. So I would have kind of perfected the basics first, got the training, got the knowledge, and then took that into a shop where I would have at least been skilled in those things before just kind of being thrown into the midst of being in a hectic, busy nail salon. Another thing is, I would say, don't let others get to you. I wouldn't have let people get to me. And while I didn't, and again, if you saw that video, growing up, nails wasn't a thing. Now, so you tell someone you're a nail tech, they're like, oh, okay, that's good. They're interested, they're intrigued. It's a profession, it's a career now. Back in the day, it really wasn't. It wasn't a lot of Black nail technicians or just American in general. Is predominantly Asian owned industry and to say I want to be a nail tech, that doesn't always fly with parents, and they weren't very supportive of what I wanted to do. They were supportive, but not really. They wanted me to have that 9 to 5, that 401k stash, and just all the basic, simple things that we get in a job. And I didn't let it get to me, but sometimes it can alter your perception on what you are choosing to do. So while I still stuck with what I wanted to do, I tried to take a little bit of what they told me and what I wanted to do. Hence why I started working in some spas, doing like some customer service stuff. I was behind the desk, just trying to get that 9 to 5 life, but still in the industry that I wanted to be. So it's hard to not let others' opinions kind of derail you from what you really want to do. So I would have kind of put that more back to the side, and I would have just went straight forward and did what I wanted to do. Also, working in a shop, you have shop owners that can be very intimidating. You have coworkers, it can be a little intimidating. They'll tell you, you're slow, you need to speed up, you need to be like this one, or this person's this, or a coworker will say, why you do it like this? Why do you do it like that? You have to flush out all the noise and just do what you want to do. Don't let, sometimes people will pretend to be your friend, especially, unfortunately, women, coworkers in a shop. And the real reason is they're talking to you like this is because they want you to fail. They want to see you quit. They want to see you get intimidated. They want to see you walk out the door because you're competition. In the shop that I was at, when they saw that I was the one that was doing nail art, none of them really did nail art. I was competition for them. So they used to say a lot of things to me like, oh, well, do this. You should do this. Why you don't do this? And blah, blah, blah. And try to get in my ear. And you have to flush out the noise. I flushed it out. And I was like, I'm going to do it. But there's many times where you walk in and you're like, you know what? Why am I dealing with this? I want to quit. Like, I don't want to be here. Or I'll start looking for another shop. But it just didn't happen where I moved. But I would have told my younger self then, like, forget them, don't listen to them, do what you want to do, and haters are going to hate. Another big thing that I would have done differently is I procrastinated like crazy to go to nail school to get my license. Like I said, I got into nails when I was 12 years old. I was doing my own full set since I've been 16 years old. I didn't go to nail school till I was 22, 23 years old. That's a big jump. I could have went when I was 18, especially if I knew this is what I wanted to do. But again, going back to what I said, you have people in your ear telling you that's not a real job. So I let that distract me. And there were other jobs that were non-nail related in those years, of course. But I waited so long to go to nail school. And then when I left nail school, I got my temporary license. And I think you can renew it like twice. I think it lasts for like 6 months or a year. I did it twice. I did it to the point where I didn't have no other choice. I was like, my license is going to expire. I have to take this test. And I think it was fear and it was nerves, but I wouldn't have taken that long to do it. I should have not dragged it out. I shouldn't have been scared to just do it. If I was passionate about it, I should have just did it. Because even going to nail school, I felt that like, oh, I know everything. I knew everything. You can't tell me nothing. And it's so much information that you get in school. And it's like drivers, you're taking your driver's license. You study for the exam, you pass it, and as soon as you get your license, everything goes out the window. So I definitely would have done it sooner, but I also would have absorbed the information while I was there. Like I said, I was doing nails from 16. So, when we got to the acrylic section, she couldn't tell me anything. I knew how to do a full set. I knew how to put on tips and do this, but I wasn't listening to what the teacher said. People are teachers for a reason. They have experience for a reason. So I would have taken in the information. And it wasn't until actually when I started teaching myself, going back to that textbook, it's like, oh, so that's why that happens. Mind you, I've been doing nails, like I said, for 20 years. And I've been teaching in the last maybe 5. So like 5 years ago, I'm like, oh, this is why this happens. That's why that's cool when that does that. Because I learned this stuff many, many years ago, but it went out the window, or I probably wasn't paying attention when it was taught. So I would just say, and especially to you out there that are contemplating going to school or thinking, I don't really need to go to school. I already know how to do nails. There's going to be so much that you're going to learn. There's going to be different skill sets that you're going to learn. There's going to be different techniques that you're going to learn. Not one way is the only way. So that's one thing I definitely would have done differently, is I would have got my ass in school a lot quicker than I did. I also would have taken the business side of the industry a little bit more seriously. When you are trying to find yourself as a nail tech and you're fresh out of school and that first person is ready to hire you and you jump into a shop and you don't really take a minute to think about, is this where I want to be? You're just young and you're eager and you're ready to just start working. And you don't really think about, what exactly do I want to do with this? So I'll ask you this. You want to be a nail tech, but what do you want to do with that? Because there's so much more to just doing nails than doing nails. So what do you want out of your career as a nail technician? That is something that you should think about immediately. I went from shop to shop without even thinking about me bouncing from this place to this place. I can't build a clientele if I go from Harlem to the Bronx and people won't travel in this. And again, sitting down, if I sat down and took a minute to say, okay, well, I live in the Bronx. I need to be in the Bronx. I'm going to build those customers in the Bronx. I don't want to build a clientele in a place where I don't live, or I might end up moving from, or whatever the case may be. So I ended up going from the Bronx. I went from Harlem. I came back to the Bronx, and I went to Manhattan, and then I came back to the Bronx. And it was a lot of back and forth. So I just wish that I would have kind of sat down with myself and thought, what exactly do I want to do with this career? Where exactly do I want to be? I didn't bounce but so much, but enough. I was able to build my clientele, and I'm very fortunate enough that my clientele is like ride or die chicks, and they did follow me from the Bronx to Harlem, back to the Bronx. I stopped doing nails for like 4 years. They came back to me after 4 years, so I love them for that. I'm very fortunate for that, but it doesn't always happen that way. So I just wish that I would have thought about the business side of it a little bit more seriously. So as you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to create this channel, and I call this channel The Nail Teach, is because I want you guys out there, those new nail techs, those beginning nail techs, those people that are just dabbling in nail techs, those girls, to the girls that are too young to go to school yet and start. I want you to get the education about not just doing nails. There's many people on here talking about how to do nails, but think about the business aspect of it. Think about your business, your brand, what you want to do with this career. There's so much more. And this is why I use this platform to create this channel for you guys, to give you the education that you might not have gotten in school. You might not yet get because you can't afford to go to school, or maybe you had it in school and you totally forgot about it like I did. So this is why this channel was created. And I just hope that anything that I'm saying to you guys, you take it with a little bit of seriousness, because I've been there. I've been through some stuff. I've been there, and I just don't want to see you guys have some of these same regrets and mistakes that I have had. I want all of you guys out there to just truly be successful and not have to go through some of the trials and tribulations that I had to go through for many years before finding myself as a nail tech. So use this platform and other social media outlets and get that education to educate yourself so that you can watch some tutorials and demos. And it's so much now. And I didn't have any of that growing up. I had to learn it all on my own. It was simply go to the nail salon, watch what they do, figure out some of the products and do it. That's how I learned how to do nails. There was no education. There was nothing. There was no social media. There was no phones. There was nothing. So take advantage of all that you have and fill your mind and perfect your craft and stay focused. And like I said, practice, 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 practice. Don't ever give up. I know it might seem like I'm never going to get it. And acrylic it seems so easy. You just watch me paint with the brush, but it's so much harder. And don't get distracted and don't quit. And it will pay off for you, I promise. So if you guys have any other questions, please leave me a comment below, questions below. If you want to do a video where I can answer a bunch of your questions and we can do a sit down like this, you can leave all the questions down below in this video. And maybe if it's enough, then I'll just do a whole separate video of just answering your nail questions. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram also. I do like weekly Ask Me Anonymously questions where you can always just drop me a question. If you don't feel comfortable or you don't want to leave anything on the channel, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'll leave the handle right here and you can ask me a question over there anonymously if you like to. Don't forget to subscribe and like, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.